Support comes from Mosby Building Arts, a design-build company committed to remodeling the right way. Visit callmosby.com to get project inspiration for any room of your house.
From the St. Louis Public Radio Newsroom, this is The Gateway. It's Friday, June 14th. I'm Wayne Pratt. Ahead, St. Louis, a hockey city? Blues fans who have been on that Stanley Cup ride over the past few weeks sure think so.
You look out there and you see these crowds, they're massive. This is history, and we're a part of it.
St. Louis Public Radio's Mary Leonard speaks with Blues fans about a season to remember. First, the news. 2 court actions will make it less difficult for people arrested in St. Louis to go home while they await trial. As St. Louis Public Radio's Jonathan Ahl reports, advocates calling for jail and justice reform say that is just a start.
Currently, people who can't make bail in St. Louis await trial at the city jail known as the Workhouse. Poor people with low bails often have to spend months there. But a new Missouri Supreme Court rule and a federal judge's ruling will make it harder to impose cash bails. Justice reform advocate Inez Bordeaux says it's a step in the right direction.
And we know study after study after study says that if people are free to fight their cases from home, they have much better outcomes in their cases because you cannot fully participate in your legal defense if you're locked up in jail.
But St. Louis Public Safety Director Jimmy Edwards says that may not solve the problem. He says judges might move from issuing cash bails to denying bail altogether, meaning more people stay in jail. I'm Jonathan Ahl, St. Louis Public Radio.
And we'll have more today on St. Louis on the Air. It airs at noon on St. Louis Public Radio, and the conversation will be posted on stlpublicradio.org a few hours after that. The executive director of the group leading the effort to promote a merger between St. Louis and St. Louis County has resigned. Nancy Rice has left the post with Better Together. The St. Louis Business Journal reports the organization's director of community-based studies, Dave Leipoltz, is moving into the executive director position. The National Groundwater Association says recent flooding could have polluted more than 140,000 private wells in rural areas of Missouri. Floodwaters can cover wells and contaminate them with bacteria and chemicals from pesticides. The association's Science and Technology Director, Bill Alley, says well contamination could become a bigger issue as the Midwest experiences more and more flooding.
If that's the new normal, as some people think, then this is going to be more of an issue in the future than it has in the past.
The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services offers free water quality tests to homeowners with wells. St. Louis officials expect 500,000 people to come downtown tomorrow for the Blues Stanley Cup Championship Parade. City Director of Special Events Ann Chance says planning a party that will end with the Stanley Cup under the Gateway Arch is special.
Very, very emotional. Very emotional. I will probably cry. Oh, I know I will cry. So.
The parade starts at noon at 18th and Market and will end with that rally at the Arch. With the cup in hand and the big party set, Blues fans are celebrating following what many of them describe as a hockey season for the ages. Here's St. Louis Public Radio's Mary Leonard.
That's the sound of history. Victorious. Put down your phone, throw up your arms, and yell, history. After 52 years in the National Hockey League, the St. Louis Blues hoisted the Stanley Cup trophy for the first time Wednesday night. They beat the Boston Bruins 4-1 in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Boston. Fans say they'll remember that moment for the rest of their lives. Where were you when the Blues won the Stanley Cup? Clavin Hadley was with 19,000 fans at the Enterprise Center watching the game on the arena's video board. He's been a Blues fan for 25 years.
Oh, it was amazing. The best ever. I don't know how else to explain it, but we finally did it. We finally climbed that mountain.
Blues fans packed watch parties, big and small, across the city, the region, and into the Blue Yonder. Thousands watched at Busch Stadium. After the game, they poured into the streets around the stadium and hockey arena. Cars tooted, "Let's go Blues." Fans hung out of car windows, rocking to the Blues' victory anthem, Gloria. Brad Myers was 9 in 1970, the last time the Blues made it to the Stanley Cup final. They faced the Boston Bruins that year, too. But Myers says he knew this time the Blues would win.
I think they just had determination. They knew that any setback wasn't going to keep them down. They were going to win.
The playoffs have been like a surprise party that kept getting bigger and better, thrown by a team that was in last place in January and champions of the Western Conference in May. It was a season of firsts. The Blues' first victory ever in a Stanley Cup final. That came in Game 2 in Boston, a thrilling 3-2 win in overtime.
Opposite circle, across the Gunners, and Mercedes scores! The Blues win it in overtime and have evened the series!
Stanley Cup final, Game 3, the first played in St. Louis since 1970.
Blues fans, welcome to the Stanley Cup final!
Game 4, the team's first ever Stanley Cup final win on home ice. Fans say the outpouring of support for the Blues proves that St. Louis is a hockey city. Last Sunday, with the Blues hoping to clinch the cup at home, more than 40,000 Blue Note-wearing fans showed up for a Game 6 watch party outside the Enterprise Center. Longtime fan David Garrick says the Blues fever this season was unlike anything he's seen.
You look out there and you see these crowds, they're massive. This is history, and we're a part of it.
Blues left winger Pat Maroon is a native St. Louisan. He understands what this season has meant to his city.
I just can't wait to party with St. Louis, the community. We all came together, the city came together. We reamped this city. The Blues did it, and I'm so proud of these guys.
Blues fans have been waiting for Saturday's Stanley Cup parade for 52 years. It should be glorious. I'm Mary Leonard, St. Louis Public Radio.
Our David Caceres edited that report. Shula Newman is the executive editor of St. Louis Public Radio. Music by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Wayne Pratt, and from the St. Louis Public Radio Newsroom, this has been The Gateway.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.